So previously I've made a video about the disability tax credit. And for those of you who have the disability tax credit already, many of you probably are not aware of the RDSP, Registered Disability Savings Plan. And I live in Toronto, and a lot of people actually confuse this with ODSP because they sound almost the same. RDSP, ODSP, it's also DSP, right? So ODSP stands for Ontario Disability Support Program. It is a monthly allowance that's given to people who have disability. However, the RDSP is actually a savings plan. It's a government program, but the government does not provide a service to open one. And so why do you care? Why should you know about this? Today I'm going to show you an actual case of a client who actually I met in a McDonald's and opened an account right away on the spot. So let's talk about this. RDSP. This is a Canada government website, and I want you to actually go to the RDSP page and scroll down and go to Canada Disability Savings Grant and also Canada Disability Savings Bond, CDSG and CDSB. So in a nutshell, what happens is that when you open an account, you can actually put $100, $200, whatever amount of money it is that you have. And the good thing is that the government can actually match up to 300% grant into your account. So essentially, you put $100 in, a month or two later, the government will give you $300 in addition to the $100 that you put in. And you can actually grow this money altogether. Well, that sounds great, but the thing is, I don't have any money. So what should I do? Or should I just not bother opening an account? Well, of course you should open an account. So please note that you can only open one account per person. You can't actually go to TD Bank and then go to BMO and open two accounts. You can only open one account. You can transfer this account from one bank to another. I personally open my clients' accounts with either Mackenzie Investments, which is the largest RDSP provider in Canada, or BMO Guardian Funds. Okay, so once again, some people or most people will say, well, I don't have money, or if I put the money in, I might need the money. So what should I do? Well, if you scroll down a little bit on the government website, there's something called CDSB, Canada Disability Savings Bond. And what that does is that it will actually give you, okay, up to $1,000 per year for just having the account. Okay, so what I mean by up to is that if you don't make any money, or you make up to $30,450, okay, the government will give you $1,000. And if you make money between $30,000 to $46,000, 600, okay, and change, then you will actually get slightly less than $1,000 based on what you make. And if you make more than $46,000 and you're disabled, you don't get this. Okay, so for those people who have no money and have no job and who are disabled, this is great. And one of my cousins actually opened an account, and he had been disabled according to the disability tax credit for 7 years. So he opened an account, he got $7,000. Okay, but I want to actually talk to you about this real client. Of course, I'm not going to give you the name of the client who actually only got the CDSB. And let me go to his account balance, and I will show you the transactions. This client was not a friend or referral of mine. What happened was that I walked into a McDonald's near my office a few years ago, and I saw this guy on a wheelchair coming in to order a drink and sit down with his friends. And I noticed that one of the person at the table is actually someone that I've met before. And I said hi to him, and I introduced myself, and I said to the guy in wheelchair whether or not he is aware of something called the Registered Disability Savings Plan, and he didn't. But he was very interested. And so I explained to him that he can actually put money in and get government money. And he said, how do I do that? I said, well, you would open an account with someone like me by filling up some paperwork. And he said, well, let's do it now. And so he actually took out his driver's license, his social insurance number, and all the information that I need to open an account. And so I was with one of my trainees. I told my trainee to sit with him. I drove back to my office, which is 3 minutes away from the McDonald's, grabbed the forms, came back and filled the form with him. And of course, before we signed the form, I called into the Canada Revenue Agency and confirmed that he indeed has the disability tax credit, because I didn't want him to have hope of getting money and I'm not receiving any money. And we also knew that his disability tax credit expires next year. Now, this gentleman has MS, and as you know, multiple sclerosis actually doesn't get better, but the government still wants him to go back to a doctor and get recertified. So I told his partner to take him to a doctor to get recertified. And so we opened the account. And this is actually the picture of the screenshot of his account on Morningstar. And I remember it was actually a few months later that we received the money. So in December 28, 2017, he received a total of $6,329.62. And in February 2018, he received another $1,000. I don't know why it's 999, but 0.99. It's just 1 cent difference, but it's $1,000 because he wasn't working at that time, wasn't making any income. So I would imagine that one of the years, probably the first year that he was certified to be qualifying for the DTC, he made money north of $30,000, and subsequent years he didn't make money. That's why he had an odd number of $329 for the CDSB. Now, he actually subsequently got another $1,000 in 2019, and 2020 he's also got another $1,000. So that's why if you look up to the screen, new money since inception, he actually received $9,329 in total. And of course, with this investment sitting in the mutual funds investment, it also grows over time. And right now, this gentleman's account is sitting at $10,712. And we're looking forward to receiving more money until he hits 49 or exhausts the $20,000 lifetime maximum. And yes, CDSB would only give you up to $20,000. So if you've been disabled from 20 years old to 40 years old and you've been getting $1,000, it stops when you hit 40, and you don't get any more of that. And if you go past 49 years old, you also do not get any more CDSB. So make sure to open an account early and receive it early if you have DTC. And if you are 45 years old and you've been disabled for a long time, when you open an account, the government will go back 10 years and give you what you missed in that account. Okay? So make sure that you open an account as early as you can, as soon as you have the DTC. And even if you're working, guess what? If you decide not to work for 1 year and you have no income reported, the government will give you $1,000 for not working in that year. So make sure that you're aware of what you qualify for. Talk to a representative from an investment dealer. Talk to someone in the bank. Technically, all the banks have these programs available, but people like this gentleman goes into the bank with a wheelchair and nobody bothers to ask him, hey, are you aware of RDSP, or do you have the disability tax credit? Did you apply for it? Nobody bothered asking him these questions. So make sure that you stay informed for your loved ones who are disabled, or if you're disabled yourself, make sure that you know about these things, because if not, you lose out on $10,000 of free money. And like I said before, if you have any questions, drop me an email or leave me a comment. I would for sure answer some of your questions.